Welcome to Junk Journal Snacks. This is the first episode in my new craft room. And I thought the best way to ease back into creating would be to just play in my journal. I urgently need to continue working in this because I've hardly had time because of my move and I feel completely rusty. Like I haven't done anything creatively, like working physically in a journal for over 3 weeks now, and it feels so weird. I worked in this journal for about half an hour, 45 minutes before I turned on the camera. But now I decided, why don't I just take you along? So what I did off camera was I just added this piece here around this junk mail envelope. We've done this in the Plan With Me September video where I added this mason jar. These are all my printables from the kit Secret Garden. You can find all of those digitals linked under my Plan With Me September video, which I will link below this video. Then the other thing I did before I turned on the camera is I just added this journaling card to this little piece here. Then I added this coin envelope. So this is all from my kit. And I wanted to mention something concerning these coin envelopes for September. So I have the second one here. This was from my ephemera. So what I noticed when I folded this was that these two flaps here don't overlap a lot. So if you've come across that issue when you were folding these, then my apologies. I know they only overlap by maybe 1/8 of an inch, so it might be a bit difficult to glue. So I'm sorry for that. I will correct that for whenever I use this kind of coin envelope in the next kit. So inside here, I put a tag that I made a couple of years ago, at least, maybe 3 years ago. And it needed a home anyway, so that goes in here perfectly. And I also wanted to add things that don't take that much effort, to be honest, because of how rusty and weird this whole thing feels at the moment. Then I added this piece of a belly band, which was already done. I just had to cut it. And I added another one of my old tags. This is one of my favorite tags ever. It says Soulful. Just love that. And I don't think I did much else. I made this page here. So I just added this clip art here. I added 2 dried leaves and this dried buttercup. And on this page, I was very lazy here and I just used one of my hidden paperclip embellishments. So I can just pull this off. So this is the one side. And this is the other side. And I thought the Be Brave really speaks to me at the moment because, to be honest, it took me a bit of courage to turn on the camera now because of how rusty I feel at the moment. I do have a video where I make these, so I will link that for you below as well. And then I also made this page here. Again, this is clip art. I added a dried leaf underneath and then these dried elements with some washi. So that's the status of things. I didn't do anything else yet, but I do have a little bit of an idea of what I want to do. I think on this one here, so this is a paper bag. So I laid a piece of very strange material. I don't know what it's called, but it made this very cool design on top, and then I sprayed it with coffee. And I don't want to cover this whole thing up, but I do of course want to add something. So I thought this might be a good spot to add a belly band. So either this blue one or the green one. And I'm thinking the blue one might be better because the green one is almost too matchy-matchy. Just because I can see the green here. And it's kind of the same green. So I think I'd rather have the blue here. So I'm going to cut that out. It is so strange working in this new craft room. if you're not aware, I have moved 2 weeks ago exactly. I have vlogs about that, so if you want to hear more about that and see how I'm organizing my craft room, I'm not done by any means. You can check out the vlogs that I link for you below this video. And I'm so happy that so many of you enjoyed these vlogs because I'm having such a blast recording these. It is so different to record these kind of like behind the scenes vlogs to recording these kind of videos. And I don't know if it's just because it's so new to me or what it is, but I'm really loving the vlogs at the moment. I mean, I love this as well, but I really enjoyed the vlogs and you did too apparently. So that's awesome, by the way. This is brushed corduroy. And I'm using this because there's a lot of gray in this paper, so I'm trying to warm it up a little bit with the warmth of the brushed corduroy. So I plan on making more vlogs even after my craft room is done. Well, I don't know if it will ever really be done, but you know, most of the things are done. Because I want to show you behind the scenes of what happens, you know, of all the things that go into having your own YouTube channel and having an online store. I think I want to stitch on the top and the bottom. And the cool thing is I have my sewing machine right behind me now. And I just love that. I moved it from my Raskog on which it was this like trolley, you know, from IKEA. And I moved it right behind me to the desk, which is attached to my craft cabinet. So I can just turn around and use it. How cool is that? Okay, so I'm back. I had this golden yellow thread in my machine, so I decided to keep that because that works really well with the gold in the flowers here. So I'm just gonna glue the two ends. And even though I've just been working in this journal now for about half an hour, I had to reach into my craft cabinet a few times to grab some things. And again, I just have to turn around and grab them. And that might not seem very exciting to you. But for me, it's super exciting because in my previous apartment where I was working in my living room, I always had to walk around the desk and then to my craft cabinet. Now, my room wasn't big, but just the fact that I can just swirl around in my chair that has wheels and to just grab something, sometimes even without having to get up from my chair, that is sensational for me. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, to be honest, because I think it was good that I had to get up a few times if I was filming for 3, 4, 5 hours, just, you know, for circulation and everything. But I'm really enjoying this. I'll probably have to remind myself to get up, even if I don't need to. Just to not sit for hours on end. I'm really liking how this looks. So now I need something to put in here. Before I moved out of my other flat, I looked through the boxes under my bed that had all of my like really old journals, like the ones that I started out with. Some of them I never finished, some of them I actually decluttered and just threw them out because they didn't bring me joy at all, even looking at them. But there were some where I just liked a few pages and I took those out, which are now here. And I want to repurpose these in other journals. So I'm thinking this might be a great spot. This is a face I drew in November 2015. And I don't want to throw her out. I think she would still be cute. I think I'm going to cut her out a little bit though and maybe mount her on something else. Definitely have to keep the date. So let's see if I can just loosely cut around her. I love repurposing old art because sometimes you don't like the whole journal where you made something inside, but maybe you just like a few of your creations and then you just use those. Because I want to, of course, have them in a home where I will enjoy looking at her. So I think it's great to just add her to something else. So let's see if we can find a background to put her on. So these are the background pages without the calendar parts on them. And I think this would make a cool background. So I'm going to cut out kind of like a journaling card that will fit into my belly band. Going to add this piece onto a scrap piece of cardstock. And when I started working in this, it was such a surreal feeling to craft again. It almost felt like I've never crafted before. I didn't know which tools I needed or what I wanted to do. It was just really weird. But I did also have the feeling that I'm getting into it again really quickly, which was a big relief. Then I worried about silly things like, okay, I haven't crafted in about 3 weeks, in over 3 weeks. What if I don't have any more ideas? What if now I'm blocked somehow or I'm just out of ideas? Thankfully, I don't see that happening right now. Okay, should we ink her up? Yeah, let's ink her up. Do we add anything else underneath? We could try adding some dried flowers since that seems to be the theme for this month. I've added dried flowers to several pages. Maybe something that won't distract too much from her face. How about something like that? And I'm using my matte gel by Liquitex. Love this stuff so much. And then we can add this girl. I'm wondering if I should color her hair. No, I'm going to leave it like the original was from 2015. Okay, so she can live in here now. On this white backside, I also found a drawing that I want to add right on top here, which is this one. And this is one that I learned how to do in the Life Book course, also 2015. This was January 2015. We learned how to do this in the course with Tamara Laporte. If you've never heard of the Life Book course, you should definitely look into it. I'm assuming it's still ongoing. It is an excellent course and great value for your money. And I really think she's so cute. So I think she has actually the perfect size to go right on top here, as is. Okay, and now we just need something for the inside of the pocket. Maybe I can find something in this pile. How about her? December 2014. And apparently I've torn this out of a journal where I was writing and drawing. And I think this was one of my very, 2014 would have been one of my earlier ones. I think I started in 2013. And what I really like here is I'm mentioning a quote that says, "Art is what I cannot express in words." And I just love that. I think I'm going to frame that with something, with a marker. Maybe not a marker. I don't want it to show through here, but maybe just a different color pen that deserves to be highlighted. Art is what I cannot express in words. I love that. I'm sure there was someone famous who said that. And that can just, yep, that actually fits right in here. It makes me so happy to have my previous art in a newer journal. It just gives it such a fresh look. Next, what do I want to do? I'd like to do something here. So this is the other side of that paper bag. And I think I want to make this into a tuck spot. But first I want to decorate this folded part here. So I can just find a piece to cover that with. I'm wondering if these would work. I would have a little border on the edge. Yeah, why not? I could just take the green this time. The width is fine as it is. So now I really just need to trace a little bit inside of those edges. And I just cut along those. I'll just edge that again with my brushed corduroy. I love having weird shapes in my journals or planners. This is very plain, so let's add something here first. I have a new one here that I have been gifted kindly by Sweet Honey. Danke nochmals, liebe Honey. And it's by Studio Light. I love that brand. It's called Baroque Glass. It's a Dutch company, so it's www.studiolight.nl for Netherlands. I will link this below in the description box for you. So I'm going to stick to my brushed corduroy and just switch the brush to a flat brush. I'd say that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I really like that. So I'm just going to put some glue right there. And now I need something to tuck in there. I think these are all a bit big. Oh wow, look how well these colors go together. I mean, it's a horrible stenciling job I did here, but the colors are amazing. I could use that as a background to put something else on top. I just need to find something that I could put on top. I have these pouches that have some adhesive on the back, some Velcro, that stick to my door of the craft cabinet. And usually I have these things in my acrylic boxes, but I thought I wouldn't have enough because I changed some things. So I put some stuff in these pouches. I don't think they will stay in here. But on the other hand, it's really good that they're in the pouches because this now kind of grabbed my attention and this is making me use my things. So I have some clusters ready to go. That's maybe an option. Kind of like this. Let's first cut this down to a size that will work in here. I'm noticing now the little things. So I have my paper cutter right there next to me. And since now I'm on a rolling chair, I can just roll over there. I mean, these are such small things, but they make such a big difference. I used to sit on a hard wooden chair that didn't have wheels. So I couldn't move anywhere and I couldn't sit for hours comfortably. But now it's so much nicer. I'm just going to ink around this cluster, again using the brushed corduroy. And I just want to say to all of you who wish you had your own craft studio, because I did get a few comments like that and I get it. Let me just tell you that I waited many years to get mine. So be patient. Maybe you will have a chance at some point later in your life. Keeping my fingers crossed for you if that's your wish. You never know what opportunities might arise that you don't see at the moment. I never thought I would have a chance to have my own craft room either. And now I'm simply going to glue that on there. What really freaks me out here in this apartment is all the insects. There are so many insects here because I'm surrounded by green. And there's insects here that I've never seen in my life. And this is the country where I grew up. So for anybody who doesn't know, I'm in Vienna, Austria. And I've lived here most of my life. But there are creatures here that I've never seen. And it's really scary. There's a lot of them. My hubby ran into a fox when he came home in the night, right in front of our house. I think it really scared him for a second because you don't know, are they going to come and bite? They could have rabies, you never know. And then 2 nights ago, I found a huge, like not exaggerating, this big of a grasshopper in my craft room. I just about freaked out. I'm not used to these kind of creatures from the city. So I'm really scared to open the window. I don't have any screens yet, so I definitely need to get some. Okay, so this can go in here and I love it. Then I need to do something on this side. I have another pouch here with some things that I haven't used in forever. And I have these printouts of some things from my shop that were some of the first items that I had in my shop. All of these here. So why not add something like this to my page? Let's see what works. Wow, I think I printed these out about 2 years ago when I opened my shop. Never did anything with these. What a shame. Own your story. Oh, that would blend in really well. Love this honey yellow with these leaves. Or there's this one. I'm actually really loving this one. Own your story. I think this might be in my banner of my YouTube logo if I'm not mistaken. Do we put something on the background? It does look kind of plain like this, doesn't it? Maybe we should add some splatters or something in the background. So I'm going to add some baking paper underneath to protect the other page. And then I'm going to prop this up a little bit so that it lays more flat. And I'm going to try this one here. This is from Dinah Wakely. It's called Sage. And I think the color will go beautifully with the green on this page. I'm going to use this one here. It's by Samperia. I'm not sure what the name is, to be honest. I just used this one for my jeans journal as well, in case you've seen that. That was the video before this video. I really don't know what it's called, but this is the information in case you are looking for it. And I like using gloves when I use these sprays. Oh great, this isn't spraying at all. Okay, this is clogged up. Oh no. Actually, that might be a good thing. Instead, I'm going to use a little sponge, and that's going to be hopefully less messy. So I'll just add a little bit here. Okay, this is a disaster. But now I can't leave it. I can't have half a disaster. I need to now make a full disaster so that the whole page looks equally disastrous. Yeah, this sponge thing, I think I tried that before without much success. Obviously, I'm a very slow learner. I have to repeat my mistakes multiple times. Oh wow, my beautiful background is now gone. Okay, how do we save this? Let's add some more splatters. So I quickly mixed some black acrylic paint with water, and I can use this now for some splatters. Can add some here as well. Maybe a bit more up here. Okay, this is still a bit plain, isn't it? So I'm wondering if I should add some scraps underneath to give it a little bit more interest. Let's just try that out. Yeah, I think I'm good with this. So I'll just glue everything down. And in this case, I think it's easiest, rather than just taking each piece out, putting glue on it and trying to put it back in the same position, I'm just going to lift the edges here and then just glue here. So that will then connect all the other pieces. Okay, now I can just lift the whole thing off and glue the rest from the back, and then just glue the whole thing down. So much easier than filling with each piece individually. And I think this makes for a great snack, don't you think? So we've done 1, 2, 3 with her inside, 4. Enjoy playing in your journals or planners. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.